Hello, hello. Yeah, that looks good. Hey, what's up, everybody? Just FYI, I won't be streaming for very long. I just wanted to test my connection. I was having some weird issues this morning with my computer. I just wanted to make sure everything was up and running for the week. But I will, I do have one mission I'd like to complete. So, and I have a meeting in about an hour, so I could only stream for about 45 minutes max. Oh, shit, Crazy Duckman out the gate. Thanks for the 6 subs. Hell yeah. Happy Monday. Also, I think I might be getting carpal tunnel syndrome. I'm having some issues with my hand. Forearm. Oh, man. Never ends. Let's see. Where are we going here? Okay. What's up, Cole? Oh, yeah. I'm not going to allow you to procrastinate very long today. I'll probably stream this afternoon during my normal streaming time. I went for I chose to go for a bike ride today instead of doing the coffee and rise and grind thing. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I went to Dallas for the weekend for a friend's birthday party. I went to Medieval Times again for the second time in about 3 years, which Burn Dog and I decided is probably good. It's probably enough Medieval Times for a good long while. Alright, what do we got going on here? So what we're trying to do is restore electricity. I think I cleared most of the area of objects. Maybe, oh right, I can't because there's no electricity. So I gotta go over here to this. Is this where I'm? Hold on. Well, what am I doing? Yeah. Steel pipes to the railway station. Commission the railway station. Okay. All right. So where were we? Going this way? Hey, it's Mark the Frog. Mission accomplished, Mark. Good weekend. I've decided that Medieval Times has a sort of a dated roadside attraction feel to it, which I think is the appeal. I think it's charming. Especially in a world where most experiences are new and expensive and slick and technically impressive, you know? Is this where I'm gonna be going? What the fuck are you doing here? Do I have a winch? I do. Let's get this out of the way. God, man, I can't believe when I first started playing this game, I was bitching so much about the winch and how it wasn't any good. But it is... Oh, I got the wrong fucking thing. Here I am complimenting the winch and grabbing the wrong thing. But that's okay, that wasn't the winch's fault. It works so goddamn well. Can I get you? Is that it? God damn this winch. I was just trying to compliment you. Is that it? Motherfucker. There. No. Why won't... Okay, fuck it. I hate this winch. I don't know. It was, I think it's a little more expensive than a baseball game. My wife paid for it. Or she bought the ticket, so I'm not sure, to be honest with you. But it's like a 3-hour deal. That's another thing. When you're there, you're in it for the long haul, you know? Alright. That's probably a little too high. Probably shouldn't have ramped those guys. $160. How much? What's 160 live crickets cost, Mark? All right, stay the fuck out of the way. How about that? Actually, that's probably good. Yeah, there's like 17 of them, I think. The food is terrible. But you're not really going there for the food. It's one of those things where they're like, eat with your hands, because it's the olden times, and you're like, okay. Don't really have to, though, right? I mean, we could just eat with silver. No, okay, I'll eat with my hands. And then you get all gross. And then you drop your napkin, and it falls way too far on the ground in front of you, and you can't get to it without getting up. But you're in the middle of the fucking aisle, so you'd have to ask 4 other people to get up so that you can go, which is just not going to happen. So instead, you just try to wipe your hands on your wife's napkin when she's not looking. Next stop, Australian News. See, I know how to do it. I know how to do it. Who doesn't like enchiladas? What the fuck? I made enchiladas for dinner last night. They're fucking good, too. Where am I going? Oh, I see. A little less talking, a little more driving, huh? I gotta take this turn, is that right? So fucking annoying. I'm just in a car with dog shit turning radius right now, so. Thank you. Yeah, out of the way. Fajitas are good. Korean barbecue, spam tacos last night. Interesting. I loved spam when I grew up. I guess that was the Alabama and Florida in me, but I won't fuck with it as much as an adult. Okay. When I was a kid, that was the fucking snack, though. Thanks for sub, Regula Troy. Oh, Pickle de Gallo? Pickle de Gallo, we have that in, you can get that at Target in Austin. It's fucking awesome. Bernie and Vanessa discovered that. We've been eating the shit out of it since then. Vehicles. We need that, what's it called? I'm gonna have to go get it, huh? Alright, I need to get this done before I fucking... That's it, right? Yeah. Alright, now he needs to recover... to the field service vehicle. Alright, so... I need to go from behind me. I've only used this thing once. Alright, so we start here. And then we go to just to here, right? Yeah, that's not far. Okay. I cannot break this surface to lay cable? How do I do it? Huh. I don't know. Before I attempt to do this, there's no path here, right? And this is... How do you rip up at... I mean, I can't. Huh. This is all cement, though. Maybe I can go over this. Ooh, no. Maybe I can fight my... Can I run along the side here? Yeah, maybe I can do that. It don't look good. Alright, we got ourselves an issue here. Does anybody know, so I have to get electricity from right fucking here. Can I go this way? And I can't tear up asphalt. To restore a layer, you'll need a layer, cable layer. Find the active cable layer. Yeah. A directional bore machine? No. I don't think the game gets that deep. Because I can't rip this up either. Yeah, there's no tree cutting in this game, though. What if I... Hold on. This is not going to work. I know this isn't going to work. I know this isn't going to work. So this is greater mode asphalt destruction mode, but this doesn't seem to be destroying any asphalt. Sand flattening, but that doesn't do shit. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing shit, does it? Okay. Well, I didn't think that would work anyway. Fucking let me switch. I just need to find the path over the woods, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought, that you can only destroy asphalt you laid. Man, I thought this was going to be an easy little mission I would do right before I had my Monday meeting, but apparently it's going to be a little more difficult. Can't go that way. Absolutely can't. Okay, well. Just try to go up and see what happens. Maybe this thing will break through trees. Nope. It really doesn't act like it wants me to do this, though. You know? Be a fucking miracle if I can make this work. Man, the idea that you can knock a fucking tree down in this game of that size. If this was SnowRunner, I would somehow instantly be hooked around that thing. It would be stuck under my wheel well, and I'd be spending the next 3 hours trying to figure out how to get out from it before I recovered because I gave up. Well, maybe this is gonna work. Make sure this doesn't go. No. Too steep. Too steep. Never seen a chat like this. What does that mean? Yeah, I've seen the Keith Comstock nut shot. I think I have it somewhere. Alright, you one fucking rock. It's gonna cause... Really? Two active service calls. Yeah, it's fucking cool to be watching. Everybody take notes. You may have to use this knowledge someday. Good morning, Versafide. Yeah, you just... I can't fucking believe it. That's so cool. Man, I was hoping to get a couple things done this morning before I have to knock off the dip. Might be lucky to get this one finished. Now, am I going to want to go left here? Let's see. Or right. Oh, I think I want to go right. Steam boiler to get hot. Eesh. Oh man, this is gonna suck. Ugh. Huh. That was, squeeze by. Nope. Dick. I'd say that was relatively easy to correct, but not. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay. All right. Man, that makes a mess of the ground, doesn't it? Oof. Luckily, this isn't on a path we're running NPCs on or anything. That would be a nightmare. We can fix it, but you know. This machine is called the Trench Digger, I believe. The Vostok TK53 Crot Rusty Cable Layer. It's just Rusty. It's a cable layer. Rusty's part of it, not part of the official title. It's just derogatory in this case. This thing. There we go. Just bully our way in. Sweet. This is the easy part. This thing. Oops. God damn it. Alright. Is it X is what I'm trying to do? X. There we go. I wonder why that wasn't working last time. Perfect. Let's raise the hook a little bit. And I don't know. See ya. Oh, that's right. It's backwards. It's unintuitive. This game looks so satisfying. It really is satisfying. It's the best fucking game ever. I think I might... I've been hesitant to say it because of... I don't want to be subjected to recency bias, but I think it might be better than SnowRunner at this point. I'm certainly enjoying playing it more right now than I'm enjoying playing SnowRunner. Boom! Two things at once. Woo. I'm gonna end up taking all of these things and recycling them at some point, I think. Let's get, there we go. Ooh. Hit that. Tell your company and their friends to stop putting their fiber lock cables in the way of my gaff. Yeah, absolutely. Stop with the cables. Alright, we should be good with that. Where's the next one? SnowRunner's Fatal Flaw. Yeah, I just feel like there's a little bit more variety in this game that keeps it... I mean, it's also new, so it all feels new to me, but I like all the different missions you do. And the driving... I like the punishing nature of SnowRunner for sure, don't get me wrong. It's part of the appeal, but sometimes it's nice just to... Some of these missions are just fluid and fun. That's not... And it's really fucking satisfying. Like, I spent so much of my time in SnowRunner going, man, if I was in control of these roads, if I could fucking fix this road, I have all these concrete slabs in the back of my truck, if I could just use them so I didn't have to deal with this fucking road every single time I play the game. And now you can do that with this game. And there's such an ultimate amount of freedom to do it, too. Why is the trolley... Well, that's moving. Oh. Here, I need to be facing it from this way. It's backwards the other way. It's freaking... It's bothering the shit out of me. This game to me feels just like a smoother, more well, that's not going to work. A smoother, more polished version of SnowRunner. With more to do. Why am I doing it this way? Just do it this way. Game doesn't care. I'm probably never gonna come get this shit anyway. Realistically. That's as far as it goes that way, huh? Never mind. The more things improved, I agree. I totally agree. Like, feel like you're making some sort of progress, you know, other than checking stuff off a list. And it's just like so much of the road, so much of, and I'm not trying to bitch about the game because I love it, but so much about Roadcraft or SnowRunner is getting supplies to people to fix infrastructure, and then your infrastructure is never, you never see the benefits of that at any point. Whereas in this game, you really do pretty instantly. Don't you get caught on that. Don't you get... Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious right now? Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Done. Good deal. Let's see how we're looking now. So these guys have their electricity. We're done with that map. We're done with that mission. Oh, it's about 11. Looks like he's actually doing the job and wants to quit. Work is work. I don't know if there's anything else to do right now. I don't have much time. Here, let's do this. Let's quit and see how much progress we're at on this map, because I'm curious. I'll just hang out with you guys for 5-10 minutes. Give my hand a break anyway. I mean, I guess I'm at 46%, 48%. That's not bad. Not bad for that map. Getting there. Little by little. If I did a front flip, I'd break something. I'm too old for front flips. And I've also never done one in my life. Outside of a swimming pool. Thanks for the sub, Scalesistus. Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, there's tons of new content too. Like if you want to live in like get with the 2025s of it, listen to Regulation Podcast with Gavin and I. Hopefully you'll check it out. What's my favorite brand of coffee? Oh. Well, in Austin, I just go to, there's about 12 dickhead coffee shops kind of in the vicinity of where I live that I go to. I just kind of bounce between them. And so they all have like their own local brews and stuff, local companies. But going for like when I go to the store to buy coffee, Emily and I buy Kirkland, the big Costco bag of Kirkland coffee because it's cheap as shit and it's just fine. Were all of those pops my fingers? Probably. I didn't hear it. But if I popped my fingers, they probably were. I went to, I mentioned that I went to Medieval Times this weekend. I also went to Meow Wolf, I guess Grapevine? Meow Wolf Dallas. I hadn't been yet. Have any of you guys been to that one? Hey, what's up, what? Letters long. 11 letters long. You went to Denver. Denver's the one I want to go to the most. I actually bought tickets for the opening week of Denver, and I still haven't used them. Recently got into baseball and wondering who my favorite MLB team is. Well, for my entire life, it was the Chicago White Sox. And as you get into baseball more, you'll understand why. But I have abandoned them. I abandoned them last year, decided I just couldn't do it anymore. It's too depressing. And so I've been following the Detroit Tigers because my in-laws live in Detroit, and we're going to be buying a house up in the Detroit area here in the next month to 12 months. We're going to go look next month at some houses. And so, yeah, I've been following Detroit for about 2 years now. I've been a White Sox fan since like 1987, and last year I threw in the towel. Would I ever consider being a therapist with all of my life experience, or at least an unprofessional guidance counselor? I mean, I'm always happy to offer advice, but you know, I've lived a life of working harder, not smarter. So I don't know how much you should consider the advice that I have. Be a Reds fan. Hey, don't you guys have Ellie De La Cruz though? Is he on the Reds or the Cardinals? I think he's on the Reds, right? John Cusack, legendary White Sox fan. John Cusack's a hell of a guy. He's one of those actors that I grew up with that I've just loved my entire life. When I was a kid and Better Off Dead and Say Anything came out, like he was such a big deal back then. And then he was in Stand By Me. Reds, yeah. Oh, there you go. He's a Cubs fan. Either way, he's a cool dude. I like how politically active he is. I could be one of those ex-celebrity, not that I'm a celebrity, but, you know, in that sphere, like life coaches that charges people like $900 an hour to give you some Matthew McConaughey-esque bullshit about how you should journal and write down your ideas, no matter how small, or make a list of things to do. No matter, you could even include cutting your toenails or getting coffee, but check it off, and then you'll feel better about yourself. Little ways to trick yourself into not feeling lame, and just get rich off gullible people. Out in the open law. Oh my God. I discovered that my partner had an affair this time last year. After a year of therapy and marriage counseling, I found out on her phone she's secretly messaging an old affair partner, and now we're done. So I'm just wondering what's the best way to end a 9-year relationship. Well, as long as it's in the open and you guys are both aware, then I would just be as... I'll tell you this, no matter how angry you are, versified, no matter how betrayed you feel, justifiably so, the worst thing you can do is let that fuel you. You need to try your damnedest to be pragmatic and respectful, because getting heated doesn't help. Believe me, I've had many marriages now. The best thing you can do is try to be as dispassionate about the decisions you're going to have to make as possible. And I would hire a lawyer, and I would encourage them to hire a lawyer as well. And then I would also probably get out of the house as soon as possible, or listen, take your lawyer's advice on that one. Get a lawyer and take that. That's what I would do. I would seek a lawyer's advice. That's my only bit of advice to you. Seek a lawyer's advice. But I would resist the urge to act out in frustration and anger, because rarely do the results. It rarely doesn't improve the situation. And the best thing that you can do for yourself in your life going forward is to set about the business of getting over this relationship and moving forward positively. It's an incredibly jarring thing emotionally and mentally, and even can affect you physically, to be going down a path. You know, you're going down a path, you have everything set out in front of you. You guys have built an outline of what your life is going to look like and how things are going to go. And you put a lot of security into that, but you also put a lot of mental safety into that. You can relax into that idea that, you know, no matter what happens, the future's planned out. We just have to go down the list. That gets severed. And that's a weird thing that once it's gone, when you realize it's gone, at least for me, it was very difficult. And so you have to figure out how to build that new timeline. And you don't know how to build that new timeline for your future, because your future is now altered, and you have to reacquaint yourself with you. You know, that's another great thing about the end of a relationship. If there is a great thing about it, is you get to, for the last however many years, you existed as a unit, a beautiful unit, a wonderful unit where you were both enhanced by it. But you get to take a lot of the good that came from that and apply it to just you now, and you get to set about the business of becoming who you want to be at 35 or 37 or 28 or however old you are right now, which is different than it was when you got into that relationship. And so you need to spend some time getting to know yourself again, rediscovering all the things that you gave up when you went into the relationship. You're like, oh, I don't care about punk rock anymore. And then you're like, I guess I do care about punk rock. You know, all those moments. And it can be a really enriching experience, getting to learn you again and who you are, and that'll help you build out your future. And then you'll be able to invest in that emotionally and mentally, and then you'll start to feel like you're on track in life again. I hope that's any kind of advice. Dude, my life, at some point you get to an age, Versified, when the past is just a series of scars, and that at some point they've all healed over, or a series of wounds that have all turned into scars. And so revisiting isn't the end of the world. When you have enough distance between now and your past, you can look at it pretty dispassionately. I'll tell you this. The end of a relationship is never the end of the world. It's the beginning of a new chapter in your life that is unwritten and that is pure opportunity. That's the other thing, too. You now have a lot of agency in your world that you didn't before, because you only have to think of and for yourself. Not that thinking of and for someone else is a bad thing at all. I love sharing my life with my wife and thinking in terms of we, not me. But when there is no we and you get to think in terms of me, you get to do that for a little bit, you know? Enjoy that. You get a lot of options and opportunities that maybe you didn't think were available to you that now are. You could move across the country if you wanted to. You could go back to school and start a new career if you want to. You could take a year off and travel, backpack around Europe if you wanted to, you know? These are all things that you probably could have done in a relationship, but would have had a different gravity to them and would have been more difficult to pull off. And you would have had to take other people's welfare and well-being into consideration, and you don't have to do that in that way. Figured out who you actually were after your last breakup? I had the thing where I got... You could start to dysregulate. You could, yeah. I'll tell you, man, probably two of the most intense years of my life were like 41 and 42, or whatever, however old I was, when I got separated and moved out on my own, and then eventually got divorced, and then rebuilt my life. But in the process of that, I was getting sober at the same time too, right? So I started my sobriety journey and then got separated down the road from that a little bit. And then so I just had this 2-year period where I was getting in touch with myself as a sober person, trying to figure out who I am in my 40s without alcohol, trying to figure out who I am in my 40s without that relationship that I had thought I was going to have for the rest of my life, you know. And you're like, it was an incredibly intense period of my life of self-reflection and honesty and pain and catharsis and working through things and planning and trying to figure out what I could and couldn't control about my life and how to handle that. But it was probably I wouldn't ever want to go through it again, but I'm so glad I did, because I'm in such a better place in my life because of it, because I did that work. You know, I'm in a healthy relationship with the woman that I'm in right now, who I'll be in with for the rest of my life. I'm in a healthy place with my career. I'm in a healthy place with me. And a lot of it is because of a really hard 2 years of just fucking knuckling down and putting myself to task and trying to figure it out. That's a great piece of advice Mark gave. Take 5 seconds and think about it. Thanks for the sub, Brianator. How do you like Birmingham, Alabama? Snowsuit? Good day, right guy, the shy. I'm gonna hang out for about 5 more minutes, then I gotta go. Get ready for my... Oh, no problem, Versified. That's what I'm here for. Thanks for the years of support. Thanks for following since season 6 of RVB. It's because of you I have a career. It's because of every single one of you in this chat room right now that I'm doing this right now. And believe me, I owe as much, if not more, to all of you than you owe to me. I'll Never lose sight of that. Love you too, Greg. Greetings, Regnilla, from a very hot Austin, Texas today. Move out to Auburn in a month. Oh, you're about to move out of Auburn. I've never really spent time in Auburn, but I hear it's lovely. That's a good question, Mark. I think I might have frosted mini wheats. I was going to have that for breakfast, and I never did because of my bike ride. And I thinking about it. Ah, that's very kind of you, Zach. I didn't watch the Grounded 2 trailer, V-Man, but I saw that it came out. I will probably play it because I'm in the middle of... I shouldn't say I'm in the middle. I started playing Grounded 1 about a week ago, and I'm maybe 6 or 7 hours into it. It's fun, but very fucking hard. It's very... I found that game to be very difficult, and I keep waiting for it to get easier, and I know it will, but man, there's not much I can fight. Spiders will fuck you up. But I like the concept, and so if there's a sequel coming out, I'm jazzed about it. Water and applesauce, nice. Oh, thank you. And do not give up on that journey. Addiction is a motherfucker to beat, but it is beatable. You just have to believe in yourself. And be honest with yourself. I've never had a frosted mini wheat as an ice cream topping, Mark. That's an interesting idea. You can ride spiders and ants now? Hell yeah. Will I relocate to Detroit? Not full time. I'll still have a place in Austin. I just don't think it's financially viable to retire in Austin. It's a very expensive city. It didn't used to be. It used to be cheap as shit. When I moved here, it was incredible. You could live in Austin for about $300 a month when I moved here. But it's incredibly expensive. And what's worse is property values have gone up. Property taxes have gone up. So, you know, I bought my first house in Austin for $90,000. Now you can't get that house in Austin, the equivalent of that house in Austin, for less than $1 million, maybe 1.2. And the property taxes on that house, a $1.2 million house, which is an average. I know that they say that the property value, the median property value is like $500,000 here or whatever. But if we're looking at like neighborhoods that you would want to live in, neighborhoods that you have lived in for the last 30 years, parts of town you want to be in, I could live in the fucking ass end of Austin for cheaper. But, you know, to live in a $1 million house anywhere decent in Austin, I shouldn't say decent, that's not fair, but anywhere I'd want to live in Austin at my age, the property taxes alone on that are like somewhere between like $20,000 and $40,000 a year. So imagine buying a house and paying it off someday. The goal, right? Get a 30-year mortgage and you pay it off. And then your property taxes each year are essentially another mortgage. $25,000 a year in property taxes is $2,000 a month just in taxes, you know? Where my mom lives, property taxes are like $300 a year. So, or in Michigan, where they're, you know, about 35 to 40% of what they are in Austin. So you could buy a $1.2 million house in Austin is like a $460,000 house in Michigan with $7,000 a year in property taxes. So I just don't think that I'll be able to retire in Austin because of the financials of it all without wanting to fucking hustle and work until I die, which I don't. So I sold my house last year and we're renting here now, and we'll buy a house in Michigan, a very cheap, affordable house in Michigan, and then we'll move all of our shit up there, and then we'll spend half our time in Austin, half our time in Michigan, probably 70% of our time in Austin, 30% in Michigan, but that'll be where we own, and that'll be where we're planning for our future. And then at some day, you know, when Emily's business is over and my business is over, then maybe we make a full-time move, but I can't imagine that'll be anytime soon. We got 2 companies to worry about, regulation and her salon, so, you know, We're not going anywhere anytime soon. And I fucking love Austin. And I don't like the politics of Texas, but I fucking love Austin. And as much as people love to bag on it for changing and losing a lot of its cool, I think it's still pretty fucking fantastic. And Clutch My Pearls, yeah. Excellent point. Yeah, Michigan's gorgeous. I'm going up in July for a couple weeks. Yeah. That's how you feel about Tampa, Mark? Just crazy expensive. And see, the problem with living in Florida, I would have some political issues with living in Florida as well, but the problem with living in Florida is you're going to get what we have in property taxes, you guys have even worse in getting insurance. You know, homeowners insurance is a fucking, California and Florida, it's brutal. But yeah, I know what you mean, Mark. I'd do anything to live in Key West. But I also don't want to deal with, I grew up on the Gulf Coast in Florida and Alabama and Louisiana. And so the first like 18 years of my life was dealing with hurricanes. And I don't miss that, you know, I don't miss the chaos that is hurricane season. $1,400 a month with a new provider. Yeah. I was a kid, so we didn't have hurricane parties. Lake effect snow. I'm not looking forward to that either, to be honest with you. I'm not a big fan of cold weather. I've lived in Texas for the last 30 years. I'm not going to thrive in Michigan in the winters, but that's why hopefully I'll maintain a presence in Austin, you know. Escape the brutal 110-day heat in Austin for 50, 60 days in a row. Trade that for Michigan, and then when it gets shitty and gray in Michigan, come down here. I don't miss the humidity of the Gulf Coast either. That's a good call. People bitch about Austin being humid, but it's nothing compared to Houston or Mobile, Alabama, where I was born and raised. Migratory bird. That's the dream if you can do it. I remember thinking like that was when I was a kid. Where in Michigan? I understand that Michigan winters aren't as bad as like say Chicago because of where they sit on the lake, but after 30 years of 70 days over 100 in Austin in the summer, Grosse Pointe's winters are still too much for me. But I'll get used to it. Roadcraft is absolutely not a grind in the beginning. It is the opposite of SnowRunner. And that SnowRunner, it like, you got to punch through the first like 2 hours of gameplay if you really want to play that game. And they don't make it easy. They ease you into it pretty well in Roadcraft. Well, shit, I should probably get going, y'all. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I may or may not be back on this afternoon to play some more Roadcraft. I'll just have to see how the day plays out. But it was awesome spending a little bit of time with you today. Hope everybody has a great rest of your day, whether I see you today or tomorrow. Either way. Love you guys. Bye.